Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. The first homicide of the year, a missing 15-year-old on St. Croix, and panic on a cruise ship. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, a man was shot and killed early this morning in Frederickstead. The incident happened right in front of the food stamp office around 2:45 a.m. News Channel 8's Wes Small has more on this sad story.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. Very sad news to report, as I am here at the food stamp office in Frederickstead, and what we have is a homicide, the first homicide of 2010. It was around 2:45 early this morning when we have the village that was closed, and no clubs in this area were open. We have a 20-year-old black man, again, shot. We know at least one time in his head, somewhere right in front of this food stamp doorway right here in the early morning hours. We understand that his mother got to the scene. Of course, she was hysterical, and she had to be kept away from the crime area. Just got off the phone with Deputy Police Chief Chris Howe. He has now been identified as 20 years old, Akeem Lee, who had been living in New Jersey for the last 10 years. He returned home to Festival to see his friends and family. But obviously something went horribly wrong here early this morning as he received a fatal gunshot to his head. Again, his name is Akeem Lee. He is 20 years old, from St. Croix, and he had been living in New Jersey for the last 10 years.
On January 4th, 2010, at about 2:47 this morning, a 26-year-old male individual was shot and killed under the balcony of the food stamp office in Frederickstead. At 2:47 this morning, officers and mobile patrol observed a male individual lying on the ground under the balcony of the food stamp office across from Frederickstead Motor Park. While the officers were approaching the individual, they observed the individual was non-responsive and was bleeding from the head from what appears to be a gunshot wound. The officers immediately called for the ambulance, which arrived shortly on the scene. Paramedics attempted to resuscitate this individual vigorously with no success. The 26-year-old male is a resident of Estate Concordia. The name of this individual is being withheld until notification of next of kin. This marks the first homicide for the year 2010 for the territory. Investigation is ongoing.
Well, there you have it, another senseless tragedy. And so early in the year, we have our first recorded homicide in the VI territory, and it is on St. Croix. He is 20-year-old Akeem Lee, and he was shot dead, hit at least once in his head right here at this food stamp office. He had been living in New Jersey for the last 10 years, just came home to visit friends and family for Festival. Now he is dead. If you have any more information on this, you should call 778-2211, 911, or you can always call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. Yes, another murder in Frederickstead. Yes, another 20-year-old black man is dead. When will the violence stop? And where are the guns coming from? I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes Small. And at the time Wes Small reported this story, he was under the assumption that the young man was 20 years old. Chief Benta has called us earlier this afternoon and informed us the young man was actually 26. And in other news, it was chaos yesterday on a cruise ship docked on St. Thomas. News Channel 8's Lee Carl files this report.
Well, just after a tense week of would-be terrorists trying to blow up an airliner with a bomb concealed in his underwear in Detroit, VI officials rushed to the scene Sunday when a dud grenade was discovered aboard Celebrity Summit's cruise ship at the West Indian Company dock. Now, officials quickly determined the device was harmless, a harmless dud, and not taking any chances, the VI Police Department, including the Hazardous Device Unit, immediately secured the scene while experts made sure the device was harmless. Passengers who had disembarked were held back until the agents gave the all clear. Governor Jiang received updates throughout the investigation Sunday by Mark Walters, director of the Territorial Emergency Management Agency, and the device was found in a routine security inspection. Appeared to be similar appearance in a training device in the military. Well, it turns out that it was a dud grenade on the cruise ship, and apparently everybody was shook up until they found out that's exactly what it was. How did it get there? Well, an employee, won an award with this plaque with this sort of pine cone that looked like a dud, a grenade, and he threw it out in a garbage can, and that's where somebody found it, and well, that set off the whole thing. Emergency Medical Services, Department of Planning and Natural Resources, by team of FBI, TSA. The device was found in a routine security inspection. Appeared to be a similar appearance to a training device in the military, as I mentioned. Similar device was discovered by a crew member in the Asmara cruise ship journey on December 12, 2009. But by mid-afternoon Sunday, all was clear. Police department passengers were able to, who had previously disembarked, were allowed to return to the ship. And it's interesting here, the Red Cross, along with others, were on hand and helping to make sure and the tourism department, make sure the passengers were not too put out by this whole matter. The investigation, the tourism set up the hospitality tents for the passengers outside the ship, provide hospitality and services and information about the incident. In St. Thomas, at the West Indian Company dock, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Lee Carl. And now, Wes Small has a report of a missing 15-year-old girl on St. Croix. Wes?
Folks, listen up. We have a missing 15-year-old girl who has been missing since January 2nd. The VIPD and Human Services need your help in searching for this missing minor. Her name is Ania Constance. You see her picture here. She's been missing since Saturday, January 2nd. Ania Constance is in the custody of Human Services, and she resides at the VI Behavioral Youth Services on St. Croix. Now, Constance was under the care of a youth care worker who was going to the Festival Village to pick up another resident when she simply walked away. Now, Ania Constance is 5'8" with a brown complexion, and she has brown hair and brown eyes. She was wearing a white t-shirt with purple, green, and blue colors on the front. She was wearing dark jeans and also black sandals. Ania Constance has been known to frequent Mutual Homes, Williams Delight, Ario Diaz, and also Estate Whim. So if you come across Ania Constance, please contact the Department of Human Services at 712-6046, or you can always call Public Safety at 778-2211. You can always call 911, and you can always call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. Let's help this 15-year-old girl, Ania Constance, get back home to the proper authorities. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.